Hello everyone. In this presentation, let's look into the concept of identity theft. So identity theft is basically a crime wherein the attacker would obtain the information pertaining to the victim's identity, such as social security number, date of birth, the driver's license or credit card details, etc., and manipulate those information for his or her personal gains. So what are the information that are at risk? The information that would be at risk would be your personal information, such as the name, address, phone numbers, or date of birth. It would also include your social security number, the driver's license, the credit card details, bank details, passport details, etc. So how would the attackers generally do it? So these are four of the major ways the attackers generally try to do the attack. The first would be the phishing. Phishing attacks generally involve the fake sites created by the fraudsters or the attackers who would trick the victims in giving out their information. The next would be the social engineering. Social engineering is known as the art of manipulating the human emotions and behaviors for getting critical or sensitive information. Hacking. The attackers would be able to get most of the personal information pertaining to the victim if they would be successful in compromising the victim's system or the smartphone. The last would be the personal data theft, which is basically the information such as credit cards or driver's license or bills or any sort of checks or any other sensitive information that would be obtained from a stolen wallet or a smartphone. So what are the frauds that you would be susceptible to? The one would be the financial fraud, which is quite obvious when any such attacks happen. The next would be any sort of credit card frauds such as card skimming or card cloning, etc. Then the next would be the frauds that are pertaining to the government documents. So next we would know more about is the social engineering. So social engineering is known as the art of manipulating people in giving out confidential information. This basically depends on the mental ability of the attacker who could perform such an attack onto the victim. The attacker would be possible to gather sensitive information such as bank details, health-related details, credit card numbers, passwords, or any other information possible. So what are the different types of social engineering? So the major two different types would be the human-based social engineering and the computer or the machine-based social engineering. So under the human-based social engineering, again, we would have shoulder surfing, wherein an attacker would be standing somewhere nearby the victim trying to see what password or what the victim is trying to do. And the next would be the dumpster diving, which is gaining information from any sort of dumps or any sort of things that are thrown away by the victim. The next would be the eavesdropping. Basically, it is the unauthorized listening of the conversation between two or more people. The next would be the computer or machine-based software social engineering. So this would include hoax mails or the chain letters or the instant messengers, scams or the spam mails. So how do we combat the identity theft? So the first thing you got to do when you believe that you are being victimized of the identity theft would be you need to contact your bank and block your credit and debit cards. Make sure you go and report an FIR at the nearest police station. Next, freeze all your bank accounts. Notify all your creditors about the identity theft. Then make sure you change all the passwords of your systems, online accounts, and even your smartphone. So let's summarize what we just learned today. So identity theft is generally the process of misusing a victim's information for the attacker's personal gain. Make sure you have all the applications and antivirus up to date, and do not reply back to the spam mails. Use strong and complex passwords for all the accounts on the internet, and make sure to monitor your credit card transactions and statements.